It's okay. Yeah. So sorry, guys. I think those are the challenges of live recording. But yeah, we pray that we'll be able to get that right in future. So maybe just to conclude, we'll go through the questions you have asked and get back to you. We will respond to your questions online. For now, allow me to just conclude on why debt is really not the ideal thing for all of us. So the first thing is that when you take debt, you get a false sense of confidence. False sense of confidence in the sense that you use debt to finance a lifestyle that you cannot afford. Either in terms of consumerism, just the car you drive, perhaps you can't afford it if you're to buy it cash. The house you live in really belongs to the bank. Even just consumerism, buying clothes, holidays, shoes, all those things through credit cards. A lot of us have this false sense of confidence when we have debt, but you cannot be able to afford that. So I'd like to encourage us that we keep it to what we can afford and not take debt for consumerism. For Savo, for example, if we were taking debt, I think we would have very many projects ongoing. And that would give us, a false sense of confidence that we can do it. So we would have more money to build more houses than perhaps our investors are able to afford to buy. So we'd end up with houses that have not been bought, more houses than enough residents to actually, take them in as tenants. And maybe even our operations internally, we wouldn't be ready for that kind of capital, or our processes, our building mechanisms. So you get a false sense of confidence and you do more than you can, but as a business you have not grown enough internally to be able to accommodate that type of growth. So as Savo, we just decided, let's go slowly. Maybe the growth will be a little slower, but it will definitely be a sure growth. So yes, let's stop taking debt just because of that reason. Charo says debt is very addictive. It's like cocaine. Yeah, I hear if you take cocaine, you will want to take more and more and more, despite how destructive it is to your body. Debt is like that. And you'll find many of us, you take debt from Tala to pay off the debt from KCB, mobile, whatever. Then you take another debt from M-Shwari. So you're actually you're taking debt to pay off another debt, and that the cycle just continues. It's really just a doom loop. So do you want to do that? Yeah, and it's possible to actually live without debt. Of course, the interest you pay is very high, so it ends up being very expensive. Remember the example I told us of taking a 15 million bob loan, and ultimately you will have paid 35 billion shillings for that unit. Why would you want to do that again? And remember, there's something I haven't told you. When you're taking a loan, especially from a bank, there are certain costs that come with it. There's a facility fee of about, say, 3%. Some banks charge 2, others 3. So if it's a 15 million bob loan, you're going to be paying facility fees of what, 450,000? Thereabout. Nobody has given you a cent yet. 450,000 is gone. Then you have to pay a lawyer. Yeah, I think 2% of the value. So for a loan of 15 million, you'll be paying another 300,000 to the lawyers for legal fees. 750 is down, and you haven't even been given the money by the bank yet, right? Now consider the interest that you end up paying more than double the amount you have borrowed. Is it possible? Is there a possibility that you can actually do that without taking debt? Finally, the last thing I said at the beginning, that the king is the person who gives you money, and you are a slave. You are a slave to the lender. Why would you want to be a slave to the lender? It's better you live a simple life, and in that simplicity, you grow, and you grow slowly at your own pace without someone holding you sort of, as a slave. So if you can do that, there's a saying that says, he who pays the pair calls the tune. The person who provides the money calls the shots. And that's just the reality of debt. So you're better off taking it slowly. You'll grow slowly, but you will be. It's a sure approach. Maybe you're already in debt. What do? I'd encourage us, if you're already in debt, the first thing is to list down. What are your obligations? Who do you owe money? Right? Then check who charges you the highest interest rate. So if you have 3 loans, one charges you 20, another one charges 15, another one charges 12, pay the one who charges you 20 first. So channel all the money you can get towards paying that debt, where the person charges you the most. Number 2, funga mshipi and just pay off the debt. Try and live on basic needs only, like, you must eat, perhaps that's basic. Anything else, just channel all the money to paying that debt. And you will notice, if you just have a one-track mind with a focus and you just keep paying and paying and paying, you will be able to finish. It's possible to finish. And as you're paying the debt, ask yourself, is there another source of income I could have? Yeah, if you're a professional and you have a day job, can you become a consultant? I think in that season of me trying to pay that 19 million Bob loan, I really tried various things. And you don't have time to yourself because you're busy. If, for example, if you become a consultant, you have your day job, you have this consulting job you're doing, so you're working late nights, you're perhaps working over the weekends, but it's for a good cause, so that you get yourself out of debt. So if you have debt, try those methods and see. And just keep paying, and because there's no other way out. You must pay. So if you're already in debt, try. Reduce your standard of living as much as possible and just focus on paying. I would dare say, do not invest in that season. Focus on paying the debt first, because it's highly unlikely you will find an investment that can pay you the amount, a return that's higher than the interest you are paying, especially if you're not like working for a bank and therefore you're on a staff rate. So long as you're on commercial rates or you're borrowing from these mobile apps, pay the debt. Stop investing for that season and pay off the debt. Yeah? So thank you very much. In conclusion, never take debt to fund consumerism. Please, do not take debt to fund consumerism. And do not take debt to buy liabilities. The things you're calling assets, the cars and the mortgages, those are liabilities. Do not take debt to fund liabilities. Thank you very much. I hope it has been useful with all the hitches. I hope it's been useful, and yeah, we'll try to answer your questions even later. Thank you. Have a good night, and God bless you. Bye-bye.
Leah says thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Madi. You can't tell whether other people joined.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can read as they're coming.
Also they're coming. Okay. Ranga Remaina, Asante Sana. Okay. Yeah, I think these are two. Waandikie tu hapo poleni sana.
Unaweza waambia.
Oh, I'm still like, people are saying me. Oh, poleni sana. Poleni sana for that teach. That is life. Bless you all. Are we still live?
No.
Okay. So.
You can do this way.
Sawa?